Welcome to the Lead Pedal Podcast with your host, Bruce Outridge, where he talks all things trucking. Now let's get rolling.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to another edition of the podcast. I'm your host, Bruce Outridge, and today we're starting off our new series, and this is how we're doing our podcast. We're doing it in series now, so you'll have series 1, 2, and 3 all in the same week, so you can figure out what's best for you. But today we're starting off with cargo theft. We're going to be talking about cargo theft, how what's going on in 2025 and 2026. It's changed a lot from the days when we used to do it. It's getting more organized, more aggressive, more sophisticated, and drivers are finding themselves on the front lines. You're the ones in charge, often taking the blame, dealing with the stress, and trying to protect loads that are worth more than you've ever seen. So today we're going to break this down into 3 parts. We're going to do part 1 today, and so the next couple episodes you'll see come out here. We're going to talk a little bit about what cargo theft looks like right now, how it affects you, and most importantly, what you can do about it over the next little while. Before we get into that, let me tell you about our new sponsor, Harnwa Energies. That's right. These guys are opening a new truck stop in Woodstock, Ontario. That's right. If you know Woodstock, Ontario, exit 230, Highway 401, going through Woodstock, Ontario, they are opening the new it's going to be a new truck stop for you, and it's going to include a number of things from diesel and propane fueling, quick service dining, showers, large parking area for heavy trucks, RV refill stations, 2 convenience stores, and they're even going to have a truck mechanic repair shop on there. So if you don't already have an SO card, you need to get one with the SO Truck Stop card. Go to harnwaenergies.com or call 1-800-363-2712. They've been around since 1958, so they can certainly help you there. All right, let's get into our episode for today.
Be sure to share the podcast on your favorite social media channels.
All right, so we are going to talk about what cargo theft is looking like right now. Things are getting out of hand. Crime is up in almost every area that we're talking about. And just recently, there's been a number of things going on in the area. FreightWaves commented about a $200,000 cargo theft that was exposed, growing fraud schemes in the trucking industry between shippers and brokers and carriers and fake carriers and all of this kind of stuff. There's quite a bit going on. The old days where you might find someone who couldn't get a load delivered and they were selling it in the back row or something, but it's getting more than that. Vehicle crime is up. If you're hauling anything that looks like it might be electronics, food and beverages, pharmaceuticals, tools, auto parts, high-value consumer goods, anything like that, you are on the radar. Now, what they're doing with a lot of these things, they are using loads like what you're carrying, and they are reselling those. That is just seed money for bigger operations, and that's what they're doing. So your load may not be, you may think, oh, it's nothing, and food is one of the big things, right? Food is, a lot of that stuff is sold. You got a load of lobster on or something, that load is gone and sold before it's even found. And that's what they're doing with a lot of stuff. So a lot of stuff that we may not think is that valuable or something that's be worth stealing, on a criminal mind, it's something totally different. And now they're changing the way they do this, right? They're changing things like trailer thefts are coming. We've been seeing a lot of trucks being stolen lately because the trucks are being used in these crimes. Trailer thefts from drop yards, fake pickups, people using stolen load information and pretending to be a carrier. A lot of that stuff's happening. Identity theft, where criminals are posing as legitimate carriers. Following trucks from distribution centers to their first stops and then taking things away there. So they say a lot of times this happens within the first 200 miles of a load being picked up. So you need to be very wary as a driver. You need to really think about that these things aren't happening randomly. They are happening, more detailed, like people are actually targeting you. FreightWays, the one that they had here, one scheme, they were impersonating a global engineering firm, underscoring growing risk for small and mid-sized shippers amid freight theft nationwide. So people were posing as purchasing managers and using falsified paperwork to take the goods. They were sending out all the credit references. Everything looked legitimate. It all looked really legitimate. You really have to do your homework. And I guess this is probably where relationships are going to be the big thing. She said that the stolen materials were $174,000 plus that they got out of that. Another one here, a recent one that would happened with the OPP. Mike Million talked about how the Canadian Border Services and OPP dismantled an auto theft ring involving freight forwarding companies. And this happened when they were, investigating, targeted not only stolen vehicles, but also their illegal export from Canada to overseas market. So the police seized 2 tractor-trailer cabs that were stolen, and then other heavy equipment believed to have been used to facilitate the movement and export. So they're stealing the trucks and the stolen goods. They go with it, and they're using that. This happened in December. They called it Project Chickadee. It was reported by Truck News for sure, and a lot of the stolen vehicles were destined for Middle East and West Africa. So they had a total of 306 stolen vehicles that were approximately $25 million in value. They also got things like license plates, numerous key fobs, vehicle keys. They said that some of the electronic devices, laptops, something like that, were like $190,000 in Canadian currency and more than $32,000 in U.S. currency. They began this back in August 2023. As you know, if you're in the Ontario area, auto crime has been rising and rising and rising over the years, and it was getting out of hand. And now they've found that they're starting to get a handle on it a little bit. We've been seeing a lot of it on the local news in Canada, as far as people stealing. They're stealing, your car right out of your driveway. In blatant, or shopping centers, wherever you might be, and they're using those either for crime or they're using them to be shipped overseas or for parts. So they're looking at this. So they've arrested a number of people. Hopefully 20 individuals were arrested and charged. Hopefully I won't read all of them, but a lot of them are from the Brampton, Bolton area in Mississauga, which Brampton is one of the highest spots right now for cargo theft and organized crime and finding out what you're doing. So you really need to make sure you understand exactly what's going on with your cargo. And before we get into the next part of this, let's just talk about Bison Transport, right? They've got their Right to Decide program. This is a great program. If you've never experienced it before, it allows the drivers to shut down when they need to and just report in that they're taking a break for whatever reason, whether it's weather, medical, or some other issue, and they get going. And this is why a lot of their drivers are making their bonuses, their safety bonuses, because they don't have to worry about trying to push through when they're not feeling their best. They want everybody to be safe on the road. So check out bisondriving.com if you're looking for an opportunity for 2026. They are looking for owner-operators on their fleet currently. So they've got a number of things. Go to bisondriving.com. It'll show you all the opportunities there for sure. If you are a fleet that is looking to be compliant for 2026, then Compliance Mentors is a place that you need to go to. And what they do is they will do an audit to make sure that your fleet is set up properly, that you're not going to maybe be involved in all of this chameleon carrier stuff, and that you've got all your ducks in a row, if we will, and make sure that you're ready to go. So go to compliancementors.com with a Z, Compliance Mentors, mentorz.com, to learn all about their services and what they can do. All right, so what could you do as a driver? What can you do as a driver to make sure that you are not falling into the issues that some of these things are happening? As you can see, people are using your truck. The days of leaving a truck running forever and not locking it, those days are gone. You've got to really make sure that A, look for a proper place to stop, B, look for Watch who's around you. Don't tell people your load information or where you're going. And that's a habit that especially a lot of old truckers we used to be into, because we used to just talk about that in general. Hey, we're going here, we're going there. Well, now you don't know who's listening. Targeted crime is up more than anything, and you really need to make sure that you understand exactly where the pitfalls are. The types of crime has changed a lot. It is no more just about stealing a load of t-shirts or tires or whatever. Everything is involved, from human trafficking down to stealing vehicles for overseas, stealing light loads to sell off quickly to make money for larger operations in crime. So you really have to be aware of what you're doing. Make sure you're doing all your things that you can do as a driver. Report anything that looks unusual, somebody following you for a strong time when you really don't know what's going on. Report anything. Stay connected. Stay informed with people. Let people know where you are. Don't change routes without letting somebody know when or why or how. And people are watching that, and the companies are getting more involved in that too. They're starting to not allow you to go off route or anything like that for sightseeing things. So make sure you're just reporting, connecting, watching who's around you. Fill out all that paperwork and communications that we all hate so much, because that will actually get you going and get you started in what you can do. So we're going to talk about how that affects the driver in our next piece of this. Thanks for listening, everybody. We hope you appreciate that. Stay tuned as we work out this new format for the things. We're going to be talking about the impact to drivers, what's messing with you if you are, because you're on the front lines of crime. So join us for the next episode. The best way to do that is to subscribe on whatever platform you're listening and get involved that way. Thanks for listening, everybody. Before we go, let me tell you a little bit about Driver Check. That's right. If you're looking for drug and alcohol testing, workplace safety, anything like that, then you need to get Driver Check involved. Go to drivercheck.ca to check out all their resources, events, and more. And you can get locations for where you can go if you've been asked to go and get drug and alcohol tested as a driver. All right, my friends, we'll be good out there. Thanks for joining us in 2026. All the best. Hope it's a good one for you. And we will keep you informed here on the Lead Pedal Podcast.
This has been another episode of the Lead Pedal Podcast. For more information or to subscribe to the podcast, visit theleadpedalpodcast.com and be sure to follow the podcast on Facebook and Twitter.